Everybody, welcome to Tom and Carlito's show, Cryptid Junkies. Glad you're here tonight.
Hold on, Tom. I don't think it's on live yet. It says it's creating. Room is now locked. It's gotta say go. Okay, good now.
We live now?
Mhm.
All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Carlito and Tom show. Glad you're here tonight. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight for this time, and everybody that's going to tune in later. Really appreciate you coming out. It means a lot to us. You know, we're trying hard to bring you the best content and bring some really good knowledge to you so you can hear the truth of what's going on in the world today. So with that being said, we got Richard part 2, our good friend Richard, the amazing encyclopedia of knowledge out there in Trinidad, Tobago. And he's gonna give us some more knowledge about mermaids, cryptids, spirituality, and kind of link how everything is connected together with how they're with blood powers, you know, spiritualism, all of that. And I'm really excited to hear what he has to say. And you know, with that being said, you know, I'm just really happy to be on tonight and have all three of my crew on and bring you some really good information and have a really good show for you all tonight. So without further ado, I'm gonna throw the mic over to my buddy Carlito, and he's gonna have something else to say for y'all.
All right. Thank you, Tom. Very nice introduction, man. Once again, you killed it, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Hey, yeah, bro, absolutely. Hey, Tom, there's some people in the chat already. If you can, you know, say hi to them while I'm giving the shout outs. Hey, okay, everybody. Today I want to start with giving shout outs, like individually, because I feel like, you know, sometimes people when we say, you know, we want to thank everybody, people kind of feel left out sometimes, so we don't want that to happen. You know, we love each and every one of y'all guys. So I want to start with a special shout out. With a shout out for Richard first, because he, you know, we have him back again. He's a real good guy, man. He's part of our crew. He's actually part of our Cryptid Junkies crew. So you know, he's now a personal friend of me and Tommy. So amongst others, but yeah, he's a really good guy, man. We love him to death. He's super, you know, smart, articulate. He's very well with the computers, you know, computer savvy, and you know, he makes our videos also, you know, and it comes out, you know, from his heart, you know what I mean? Because he really enjoys, you know, being part of our group, and he's a real humble guy. Richard, man, we love you, bro. You know what I mean?
Man.
Everything you do, man, we really appreciate everything, bro.
All the love,
Okay,
man. All the love.
yeah, and I want to give another shout out to Uh, Marvin Allen. Marvin Allen is here. I see him on the chat already. Hey, Marvin. Special shout out to you, buddy, because we were with you for a very long time, and we picked up a lot of things. We learned a lot from you, right, Tommy? And
Absolutely.
and we just want to thank you, from the bottom of our heart, Marvin. Okay, and we're always going to support you. We're always going to be there for you, and you got to know that we're always going to love you, man. Okay. You're the best guy out there that we know, telling encounters and stories and all that good stuff, man. So we just want to give you a special shout out, Marvin. Also, I want to do a shout out to my daughter. She's on there. I just seen her. Wally. Her name is, well, her name on the chat is Wally Agreda. That's my daughter, guys. And anybody that doesn't know, she's the youngest cryptid junkie in our group. She's 20 years old, and she's watching. She's watching. Hi, baby. How are you doing? I know she's watching. And who else? Well, we want to give another shout out to Al Santariga. He's kind of like our stepfather or godfather. As far as like like what's the word I'm looking for?
Mentor.
Mentor. Yeah, there you go. Like, he gives us a lot of advice on a lot of things. How to make a program. How to make a show. He's been on many shows. He's been on this cryptid journey himself for many years. I think 20 something years, and he's done many shows. He's been on many groups, and he knows it. He knows his stuff. You know what I mean? Like, and he mentors us and he teaches us stuff. On how to do certain stuff and stuff. So, yeah, Al, big shout out to you, Al. Right, Tommy?
Exactly.
And
Two
who
more.
else? I don't.
Two more.
I'm not seeing. Okay,
Chris and B.
I'm not seeing Chris, and I'm not seeing B on there yet. But we're gonna go ahead and give him a shout out. Chris Cyrus. He's a big teacher for us. Like me and Tommy, we've known him for many years, and he's like a mentor. He's another mentor, cryptid mentor, because he knows a lot of about cryptids and a lot about paranormal. He's talked to us and coached us through different topics and cryptids and stuff like that, and we look up to him a lot. So Chris, special shout out to you, buddy. And last but not least, B Moss. She was on here on the last show. I don't know if she's not here yet. She might be on later on, but we want to give a special shout out to B, her and her people on her group, because B's got her own group. So we want to give a shout out to all of them because they like to come to our show and they like to come join us and put their feet on everything we talk about. So yeah, that's pretty much all the shout outs that I have for now. And I want to thank everybody that's in the chat right now. I'm going to name a few. Michael Patterson. I'm going to name Eric Ogle, Darwin D. Rodriguez, Susan Williams. Who else? Charlie Kylene. She was here last time. She has very good questions, Tom.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yep.
And my daughter, Wally Agreda, and who else? Who else am I missing on there? I think that's it. Yeah, that's it for now. That's on the chat right now. I named everybody. So, okay. And I'm sure, later on we're going to get some more, maybe Dew from Texas or Lisa with Marvin Allen. So, oh, there's B. Okay. B, I just gave you a shout out, B. Okay. You're going to have to go back and rewind it after we finish. But we just gave you a shout out for joining us and for supporting us. Thank you, B. Okay. Okay, well, I guess that's pretty much it on the shout outs, Tom. And B just joined and she heard everything I just said. So okay, what are we gonna where are we gonna continue, Tom, on this part two?
I was thinking go like to the middle of the mermaids. How you were talking about how like they give powers and then they could take them back. They could have you, they could kill you, and kind of specify a little more in depth on that, and then we can kind of go into some other things. Maybe talk more
Hmm.
about symbolism, prayer, other things like that, and we'll just let you start. I mean, it's your show,
Okay.
Richard. Give
Okay.
us what you got, buddy.
Yeah. It's all
It's
about
all
All
about you.
Rich
It's all
right.
about
today,
you.
man.
All right. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. Good night, everyone. Um, Greetings from Trinidad and Tobago. If you hear the accent, yes, I'm a Caribbean guy. um, well, let me just start from where we left off, where I was telling you guys about the pastor who was involved with a mermaid. He actually slept with this mermaid for powers, right? And she was giving him certain things, but the thing was she needed the sperm, right? So probably we might have little children around. So when we talk about that, I will say soldiers or sailors, right? For seamen, right? It's sailors. So you use
Mhm.
sailors, okay? So she would come for the sailors, right? And what they use that now, the sailors are used for different rituals, but specifically for hybrids. And as I told you guys, some of these hybrids look like human, right? Look like humans, but they have the body of a fish. Some look more fish-like, right? Same lower torso of a fish, and then some look like monsters,
Right.
monsters, monsters. Some look like monsters, right? So what was happening is that people were coming to his church and stuff like that, and he was very famous, getting a lot of money and stuff. And but he himself, because he knew he was dealing with dark powers, he felt himself moving away from God, and that is something that he did not want, right? And he decided he wanted to opt out. And what happened? She said that he cannot leave. If he leaves, she's going to kill him, right? She's going to kill him. They're very, 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 very serious when it comes to the commitments and the pact that you make with them, right? And he started to cry out to God, but he wasn't getting any of that that feeling or what we call vibe, right? Or we call frequency from God. So he started to reach out to other pastors who was able to help him. Sadly, no one was able to help this man, and then they end up killing him. The pastor ended up dying. Before that, he says that she would visit him just to sleep with him for the sailors, and then at points in time in the night, she would visit him in dreams. Listen to this, eh? Visit him in dreams
Wow.
to take the sailors, right? Visit him in dreams. And he said that she would also rape him against his will.
But was this in his dream or was this like real
Dream
life?
and real, in dream and when she visited him,
Oh, okay.
right?
Wow.
It
Hmm.
ended up costing him, right?
Wow.
So people have this thought about mermaids, and oh, they're fascinating, and oh, they seem beautiful and stuff like that. But that is why I made the video. You see the video that we did for the show,
Right.
the advertising for
Hmm.
the show with the
Hmm.
mermaids. But if you watch the two mermaids that appeared, you see
Hmm.
a beautiful woman, but at the side you see
Right.
skulls around her.
Right. Right. Because
I
that's
wanted
the
to I
mhm.
wanted to portray the how devious and deadly these creatures are.
Deadly, exactly.
They're very deadly.
Mhm.
They, people who want power, I mean immense power, visit these creatures in the sea. There's a marine kingdom. There's a marine kingdom, but there are certain rituals you have to perform to get the ocean open up and you go to these places. In Trinidad, in Trinidad here, you have people going to the ocean and praying to these beings. You see them on there's a place called the Mosquito Creek, and
Wow.
you see them performing their ritual, the marine rituals right there. No, Trinidad is both the major population is both African and Indian, right?
Mhm.
If you check um, African folklore, we're talking about in Africa, the continent of Africa, they know about marine spirits, they know about mermaids, they know about the marine kingdom because that is their lifestyle. Guess what? My ancestors came from there, so they brought the traditions in Trinidad and Tobago. So we know about these spirits, we know about these creatures,
Mhm.
right? So they there are some of them, like I was telling you guys, they're beautiful. Like their beauty is not normal, a normal human beauty. No, you will see a very beautiful woman and you say, oh wow, she is like out of this world. These creatures, they're way beyond that. Way beyond that. When you see the beautiful ones, and those are mostly the ones that have power, real power that could grant men stuff and things like that. These are the ones that who used to be worshipped as gods, right? And people still do that up to today, worship them, but it's esoteric movements, quiet, secret movements, right?
Wow.
Some some men here what it is, here how they go for the sailors. Here how they want sailors. These things, these creatures prostitute themselves. They come on land to prostitute themselves just to get the sailors.
Right. Wow.
So sometimes men go to these houses and around the sea area or among a coastal area. They go to these houses, these guest houses, these quote
Brothels.
unquote brothels,
Brothels.
and would not know that they're sleeping with a mermaid.
Wow.
Wow. Man, that's
Would
crazy, dude.
not know. Would not know. Would not know.
Hey, hey, Rich. Is it okay if we ask a couple of questions? Take a little,
You
pause. Yeah.
know
Be-
as you ready to ask your questions, you just cut me and
oh,
ask away.
okay, because I seen a
I got one.
question from Al. I don't know
I
if you've
got. I
seen
got
it,
it.
Tommy.
Yeah.
Okay.
You ready?
Hmm.
Go ahead.
Al wants to know.
Launch it.
Al wants to know if there's a purpose for the hybridization between the mermaids and the humans, and that's a good question because are they trying to make something a different race to blend in with us to maybe take
Well,
over?
and that is it. Listen to me. Hear this. I think I was explaining this before. Um, why try to become more human-like? If you pay attention, these creatures were served as gods in way back, probably thousands of years ago. It was normal for these people to see mermaids, to see dogmen, to see giants and other cryptids and worship them as God because these things literally had cities and they used to trade. But however, people used to see them as gods because they had supernatural attributes to them. As went along, and especially when Israel started to become a nation and started to grow, they begin the scripture said that God told them to wipe them out. If you read the biblical account, you see that they were wiping out these creatures. So they had to go in hiding. So they took to the hills. Right? The moments went deeper back into the ocean, because there are also hieroglyphs that show that they had a war with human beings. So they were beginning to get wiped out. I want you all to just see where I'm coming from, and you'll understand. You used to be worshipped as a god, but now, uh, as in their time, they started to get wiped out. Men started to turn on them, so they had to force and go back. So they were becoming less and less seen, right? They were becoming less and less seen. Now today, whereas the older people would have seen them as normal and be, oh hey, okay, there's a dog man who going there. We see a dog man, we see something that is something out of a horror book, and that do exist, right? We see a mermaid that do exist, but I've seen it. Wow, look at mermaid. It's something new for us. But before then, it was nothing new. Why? Because they used to be worshipped as gods, and they had power. If you were worshipped as God, it means that you had power and you had influence. Everybody grasps that so far? Good. Fast forward to this time now. You have no power, you have no influence. Before then, we used to accept you for who you are and what you look like.
Right.
Now, if we see you, we think that, hey, what's going on? I don't want no part of to do that, or you're fascinated, or you're scared of it, or you're frightened of it. What if I could make a hybrid? What if I could make a hybrid that can look like you, sound like you, talk like you, but not you, and gradually introduce me back into the world where human beings can accept me the way they used to before, when they used to worship me as gods, openly.
Okay. Makes sense.
Hey Richard, I got a question. Well, actually, two from B. She says, "So was Poseidon real, and are they able to have children with humans?"
That's right. So they are known by different names. The same deity, but different names. As time go along, they will know them as by different names, right? They say that Poseidon is king of the ocean, right? He's king of the ocean, right? By that name, he was known as then, right? No, he might probably carry a different name,
Hey,
but
so
but
was that? I
but
mean, was his character real? Was he a real person or just a mythology?
he
You know what I
was
mean? Like,
he was a god. Let's put it this way: he was a god, and he would have been a fallen angel. If you understand what I'm saying.
okay.
Yeah.
Just like how you had the fallen angels that came and slept with the woman, and they had children by them, right?
Hmm.
You'd have had Poseidon, who would have been an angel, a fallen angel that would have come and slept with these women, and then produced a hybrid, and then these hybrids will continue to produce hybrids and stuff like that,
And made
right?
demigods.
And make demigods. Well, we know them as demigods, or Nephilim, or cryptids,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Exactly.
So if you would look at it from that perspective, you could see why they want the human sailors. Because I was once worshipped as a god, but now if people see me, they will not accept me. But if I can have somebody like you, like an ambassador for my kingdom, and bring you to accept me, I could come back and be accepted,
Hmm.
right? Because if you check it out, all trade and everything happens on earth with human beings. Take it or leave it. You're on land, you have money and wealth and riches, you have it in the land. If they could come here and rule. Its main objective. I cannot see any other way, any other thought or bend around that. Why are you taking the soldiers from human beings? Why are you taking the eggs from human beings? Why are you creating hybrids? If I was worshipped as a god, and now I'm not worshipped as a god because I'm seen as something strange, then I need an intermediate, also an ambassador, to speak on my behalf, to bring me back to my position where I was.
Wow. Hey,
Right? So
I'm sorry
yeah,
for the
go no,
interruption.
don't apologize. You go
There's some
ask the
more
questions.
questions. That's why I don't want them to, like, go past this too far. B was asking another question. She said, "What about the Orishas? Are they marine spirits too?"
The Orisha.
Orishas, yeah.
The Orisha. We have a lot of those
Really?
down here. They
What?
man. All right, before we go there, let me talk about Trinilingua. Before we go there,
Okay.
before we go there, right? Sorry, for those of you who need to hear proper English, before we go there, right? My um, daughter's mother, my big daughter's mother, not my wife, my big daughter's mother, her mom was Orisha.
Orisha.
Right? Listen, I want your head is because
Okay,
Orisha,
wait. Just 1 second. One second, Rich. Explain to me and all the other people that don't know what a Orisha is. What is that, man?
Orisha is a tribe from, well, I wouldn't say a tribe, but a religion from
A
Africa
religion from Africa.
that deals with marine spirits.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
That is
So is it?
that is why when I told you all, do you have some people here that go by the ocean and pray to these spirits and these cryptids? Is those people I was talking about.
Right. Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So the Orisha. So my big daughter's mom, right, was Orisha, and her mom, her grandmother Orisha, and her grandmother husband Orisha. And this is what she told me when she was around probably 12 or 13. They went to an Orisha feast. Right? They went to an Orisha feast. And when she went in the building was dark. But you could still see a little bit, but the ambience was dark it was of a dark mode. And they bring in a goat, cut off the head, one slash, pour the blood in a bowl, drink, put some alcohol. The priest put alcohol in his mouth and blew it on a cutlass, and they start a fight with the cutlass and stuff like that in the dark. And I was,
right.
When I say pelting chop, when we say chop in Trinidad, they swing in hand, like if you're going using a machete to cut off something, like sword fight. They sword fighting with a machete. Right? The machete is what we call a cutlass down here. And she said after that ritual, they drink the blood. And it was time to eat.
Wow.
She said, sitting down there, this man was passing around, giving out milk and I think it's sweet bread or something so. And she said when she looked at the foot, the man only had a waist, no foot, serving them. She said she looked for the legs and she cannot see the legs. Wow. And her mother said, don't scream, do not bawl, do not say anything because you might not make it out here alive. So she said
Mm-hmm.
She said she didn't want any. She didn't take anything from them because she was, as a child, she was frightened. No legs, only her upper torso was serving, right? Because whatever was underneath was not human.
Okay.
It could have been a merman,
Wow.
right? Now
Mm-hmm.
moving back to the Orisha with V, with B. The Orisha deal with mermaids.
Mm-hmm.
They deal with the mermaids. They worship these creatures. They worship other gods too, but their base, why they are so powerful,
Mm-hmm.
and why people go for them for magic and powers and fame and fortune and thing,
Mm-hmm.
is because they deal with marine spirits. Marine spirits are very, very, very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Now you'll ask, well, why are they so powerful? Why? Because these beings were the wives of the angels that gave birth to the
Mm-hmm.
Nephilim. So they were first contact with the angels, because the angels came down and see the wives that they will be, the women, the daughters of men, that they were beautiful, and they take wives of all of them. So it's only obvious that their wives will carry the power of a queen.
Okay. Hey, Richard, I got another question from Troy Noogie. He says, so Zeus was real? Was that real?
All
Zeus?
these, all
Because
these
that's
are
another god, isn't it? It's a marine
all
god.
these all these are demigods. Like, Zeus is something. All these were demigods.
Mm-hmm.
What would happen when these Nephilim? Now there's a portion in the scripture, especially in the book of Enoch, that talks
Mm-hmm.
about after the Nephilim and stuff die, their spirits will roam the earth and they will become demons and haunt women and men because they came from them, right?
Mm-hmm.
These these beings, because the scripture also say, even in the Bible, it says that they were men of renown, they were famous men, powerful men.
Mm-hmm.
So when people see their attributes, they acknowledge them as gods. And when you talk about Mount Olympus, when they talk about Mount Olympus, it's just a different name for the mountain that the angels were on when they came down. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So different areas, like Greece and other areas, will know the same. Will call the same place by a different name. But it's
B,
the
mm-hmm.
same gods they're talking about.
Right.
Yeah,
B,
go ahead.
B kind of added to what you were saying. She says that's why the children of the gods and human women in Greek mythology were giants like Hercules and
Yeah,
Zeus,
exactly. B.
whatever his name
You,
is.
yeah,
Zeus.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. B.
I got a
Exactly.
Mhm.
That's why they
question.
Okay.
should. Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead, Tom.
We'll start off from where I seen the last one. It said, Charlie Carleen wants to know, could these creatures be the result of evolution?
Um, no,
No.
no, Mm-mm. Not the result of evolution. The um, the corruption of the gene, yes.
Yeah.
The corruption of the gene, right? Because in the earlies, when you talk about the first man and the first woman, obviously the brothers had to be with sister. You can't ignore that. But the gene was not corrupt. It's only when the angels came down, they had the recessive gene. And the recessive gene is what caused dwarfism and mongoloidism and these kind of things like that. And those genes get passed along to the generations.
All right. I got one more, too.
Mm-hmm.
We got B wanted to know what happens to the people who go missing in the Bermuda Triangle. Are they going, like, getting sucked into the Marine Kingdom when they get, Bermuda Triangle?
That is something I don't
Okay.
know. That is something I don't know. But there are people there are people who talk about moving from one place to another, right? Now, let me just tickle your minds a little bit. Right? Let me just tickle your minds a little bit. Elijah, the Spirit of God used to take Elijah from point A to point B without him having to travel a route. You'll see him at A, and all of a sudden you'll see him at B. There's no intermediate, there's no in between. You just be from one place to the next place. Right? Why? God transported him. Supernatural traveling. Right? If you happen to be in an area where you're not supposed to be, right? You could be transported from one place to the other, just like that. Now, whether they go to the Marine Kingdom or some other part of the earth or in the earth, we don't know. But we know that they disappear. And if they are around that area and there's a portal there, it could very well take them to the Marine Kingdom. It could very well take them to the earth realm. You know?
There's another question from B. She says, "Why do ships and planes go down over the Bermuda Triangle? Does it have to do something with the Marine Kingdom?" And remember, we were talking about that on the last show that we had with you. So does it?
It could be very possible because they have USOs. So if they happen, okay, let's take it like this. If they happen to be coming out, going passing in the direction where the USOs are coming out, and they are coming out out of a portal, they could be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and could probably go straight to the Marine Kingdom through that portal. It could be a possibility, right? I'm not saying that is what happens. I'm saying it could be a possibility, right? It could be a possibility. So you crossing their path. They're on the merry way from their portal, whatever takes them out from there to there. But you just happen to fall into that portal and you don't have the device to maneuver in that time and space. So what you do? You sink, you go down, and you disappear. So it could be a possibility, yeah, B. Yeah. You know? So the Marine Kingdom, people deal with the Marine Kingdom because they get power. No. These things eat people. They eat you. When you talk about it, let me talk Trinidad and here. They just eat you. They eat human beings. Right? They eat human beings. But they have people working for them. They have people worshipping them and stuff like that. As gods, as they used to have in the earlies. Just not the majority, because the majority don't know about it because the movement kind of esoteric, right? Kind of secretive. Right? But they eat human people, they eat babies, fetus. They eat them.
Hey, I got a question from Marvin Allen. It says, "Do you think mermaids went deeper down to avoid man and predators?"
I would say predators. They were driven from men. Let's put it that way. They were driven from men, right? They were driven from men. They had wars, and they were involved in it. When people, you see, like I said before, in the early days, they were reverenced as gods. To see them in their time, it was like you see a god. Now you see them, it's like, hey, what is that? Or some people get frightened and stuff like that because why? They had to move away. Like I said, when even giants had cities, and they had cities in the hills. Some of them are along the plains. But when God started wiping them out and other nations started wiping them out, they had to leave and go in the rocks and the caves. Same with the Marine Kingdom. Same thing.
Hey, Richard, B has another question. It says, "Was Atlantis and Lemuria real?"
Right.
Was that real?
These were civilizations that worship the Marines. It's not that they were the mermaids and stuff like that. They worship these beings. They worship these cryptids. Not to say that Atlantis was were the population was mermaids. No, they worship them,
Hey,
and because of
but
that, they
hey,
were. Mhm.
hey, Richard. So why is Atlantis related like with mermaids?
Right.
That's my question.
We're
You know
right.
what
So
I mean?
this
They
is
do
what I'm
that a
saying.
lot, like in
The
Disney and all that. Hmm.
technology is from them. They will they will at very advanced civilization, just like the just like the Egyptians. When you go down into the pyramids and stuff, you see light bulbs that we see that we invent today. But they had light bulbs then, right?
Hmm.
They had batteries back then. But because these people are associated with with these beings, they had the technology because they worship them. So they had the technologies, right? They had the technologies because they gave them the technology,
Hmm.
right? These all these big buildings and stuff and the blocks that were put down in the pyramids, and they say that they were tons and megatons and nobody could have really lifted them. It was the cryptids that had the technology to help these people do whatsoever that they needed to do. Men don't like to acknowledge these things because men are a little too well, how I'll put it. They 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 want to think logic. They don't want to think beyond the beyond. They don't want to do that. They want to
Hmm.
think logical. Oh, so they had to have a police system, and they had to know it's technology that the angels self provided through their children. The technology of swords and spear and shields and stuff like that that came from the angels. They were taught.
Oh,
They were taught to men. Men
Hmm.
was not, men the species of man was not supposed to know war. But when these angels corrupted themselves, they came down with women and stuff like that. They taught them war and dark arts and stuff like that. To learn to make sword and spear and shield and armor and stuff like that, using iron and roots and these different kind of things. They were taught. That is why that is why when but that is why you have herbalists, because these marines and these other gods, let me say put in foot, they come gods, know the secrets behind plants and roots and stuff to get you to get bring healing to your body. Right? So when you go by a herbalist, he commune or channel the spirits of these 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 marines. Now look how I using interchanging the terms as spirits, and then afterwards I using mermaids as a physical being. There's a reason for me doing that, right?
Hmm.
There's a reason for me doing that. Because just as a human being could project his spirit out of his body and go elsewhere and talk and then come back, or take his body and carry it to in China, and he could carry his body to bring his body to Trinidad and Tobago, these beings could do that. That is a high level of intelligence. And that those secrets could be taught and man could pick it up,
Hmm.
but at a cost. At a cost.
Right.
At a cost. You don't want to pay that cost. Pastor paid that cost. He found out that they were going on. Is your life you're playing with? Is
Yeah.
your life you're playing with? It's at a
Hmm.
cost.
yeah.
Look,
You ready for some
look.
questions?
We got
You ready, Rich?
some questions. We got some
Yeah.
questions in the chat.
Real
Hmm.
quick,
I'm waiting. Yeah, we waiting.
Charlie, check your mic. Your mic's making a little funky noise. Just check your plug in. Make sure it's all right, because I'm hearing it on my end. So sorry about that, but yeah, I'm hearing a little buzzing on your mic. All right, first we'll start off with I'm gonna go back a little bit because
Okay, yeah. Just
catch up. Okay,
make sure you get
yeah,
all the questions.
yeah.
Make sure we cover
Okay,
all the
I'm gonna start
questions.
with the last one I see. So all right, Charlie Carlene saying, depending on what origination of life theory you believe, could we be looking at or something primordial or ethereal?
Primordial, All right. If you're going through evolution, you'll think more primordial, right? So we come to the primates and stuff like that. Um, and what you said was right. Yeah, depending on your beliefs,
Yeah.
right? I am a creationist, right? So my belief is that God created man, right? God created man, and man multiplied in the earth, right? The evolutionists will tell you that Big Bang theory and stuff like that. That is not my belief system, right? So I speak to you as a creationist, but I speak to you as a creationist who experience these things, right? Who have experience with these things, right? And my culture, right? My culture was in these things. So when we talk about water mommy,
Water mummy.
Yeah.
mermaid, right? We call a mermaid spirit too, because they could project their body, they could project themselves out of their body and come and talk to you. They're projecting themselves from their body and they're seeing them sitting down right there talking to you.
Wow.
They're in the ocean, but you're seeing them here with you. That is why I say spirit.
Okay.
So
I got one more from Al when you got a minute.
yeah, in the terms of in the terms of evolution, even if you go through evolution, if you go through evolution, there's no room for cryptids.
Right.
Because if you say cryptids, it have no room for cryptids if you go through evolution.
Yeah, I got another question from B. It says, "Is it true that you are not supposed to eat or drink anything given to you in a dream, and why?"
Oh boy, hey B, you touching on thing that I want to talk about, girl. Why you doing that? You're macroing me, When we say you're macroing me, it mean that you're watching my business, You're watching my business. B, stop that, Stop that. What you doing, me, girl? What you doing, me at all? Right. So let me give you something. So these mermaids like to visit people in dreams. They will sleep with you to get to sailors.
Hold on, real quick, guys. I'll be right back.
Okay. However, they like to bring things for you to eat. They bring stuff for you to eat and they bring stuff for you to drink. Right? If you eat or drink anything, see you get sick. Some people even die. Because let me tell you what your dream state is. People know about the meditative state when you relax your body and then all of a sudden you leave your body and you end up in another plane. Right? Transcendental meditation, I think you call it. When your body going to sleep, it is in that state. And where your spirit, if your spirit is not covered, these things could come to you. And they would visit you in dreams, meaning that they're attacking your spirit. What we call dream is literally what happening in the spirit realm. That is why sometimes you dream you hit your elbow, and when you wake up, you feel a pain in your elbow. Sometimes you dream you're falling and you jump off your bed because you literally thought you was falling off your bed.
Yep.
You're dreaming that you're running from something and you get up with your heart racing and you're sweating. Sometimes you're dreaming something and you wake up and when you open your eyes, you literally see what was in your dream in front of you. Because it's the spirit realm is where they're attacking you from. The spirit realm is where they're attacking you from because your body in a relaxed state. You're in a dream state is where your spirit would roam. And if they bring you to a table, if you see yourself going to a table in a dream, that is your spirit, that is your actual you, that is actually you going to a table in their kingdom to eat. And whatsoever you eat, going to poison here. When your spirit come back into your body from eating that whatsoever your spirit eat will manifest in your body as a poison, and it can kill you. That's why they say don't eat or drink in your dream. Have control over your dreams. For you to have control over your dreams, you have to have a higher frequency operating on the inside of you than that which is outside of you. So yes, B, don't eat. They love to bring things for you to eat.
Hey, I got a question from David from Texas. Says, which cryptids do you believe are straight out of hell? Like demonic.
None of them, all of them demonic. And I make no apologies for that.
All of them?
Yeah, all of them. I make no apologies. You know why? Anything come from a fallen angel. Anything that stem or roots from a fallen angel, demonic.
Okay.
Hey, I got a question from Noogie. He says, how old is the world in your belief?
From Adam till now, we say about close to 7,000 years. Before Adam, it could be millions of years. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yep.
I would say the scripture says Bereshit bara Elohim baharetz. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Now, when you check the Hebrew, right? When you check the Hebrew, the word is Bereshit, not Behareshit, not in the beginning. Right? Ha is the, right? In Hebrew. The scripture says Bereshit. It means in beginning.
Okay.
God created, not in the beginning. The is a reference point. If you understand.
Translation.
That's right. The is a reference point. The points out a specific time. The scriptures never say Behareshit. It says Bereshit. So in beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And the earth was without form and it was void. So something happened in between there to cause the earth to be void, and because God will never create anything destroyed. Right? He created all things good. So there's something that happened there, right? That destroyed the earth, that God had to now go and replenish. See the word? Replenish.
Replenish.
You
Battle of the angels. Battle of the fallen angels.
That's right. Replenish. So when Satan was kicked out of heaven and he came down, he destroyed everything that God created. So God had to now come and replenish. So the earth could have been here millions of years ago. But Bereshit, bara Elohim, in the beginning when God created. We don't know that beginning when the earth was created. It could be millions of years old. We don't know. We don't know how long that how long ago that fight was. Right? But we know from where replenish start. Right? We know how long replenished start. Right? And that's around close to 7,000 years old, when God replenished the earth. Your mic, we're not hearing you.
Can you hear me now?
I had it muted. Okay. From B, I got a good question from B. It says, is it true that when you dream of having sex with someone you know, it's not that person, it's a marine spirit impersonating that person? Is that true?
Yeah. Or familiar spirit or husband spirit.
Could it be a succubus or an incubus too, right?
Same husband spirit.
Okay.
They just know them by different names.
Al had a good question too about symbolism. Do you know anything about
Ooh,
the signs and symbolism that talk about the Marine Kingdom on our land? Is there any reference to like any
that
signs that people
ooh,
see or don't
I
even
love
recognize that refers to the Marine Kingdom on our
I
land?
I
Yeah.
love them. I love that question. I love it. Um, those symbols you would not be able to see. Sadly, you wouldn't be able to see that. Only somebody who in the supernatural realm will be able to see that. Right? Only somebody in the supernatural realm. But um, I had seen, I had seen. Let me. Um, there's a river down by me. There's a river down by me, and y'all can hear me, right? Because it looked like my camera freeze. I don't know why it freeze. I don't know why it froze. Say that. Say that again.
Your camera's off, but we can hear you still.
My
We can
camera's
hear you.
off.
That's okay.
Why is
You
my
might have
camera
turned it off on
off?
accident. Just check your settings. Make sure you didn't turn it off on accident.
Okay. Camera on. Still, it's still looking as if it's frozen. All right. Probably
There you
some.
go. You're back. You're back.
Oh, okay. Okay. Nice. 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 Yeah. Now, I left my I left my body. I was on my bed and I left my body, and I went down to a river down by me. And when I went to this river, I couldn't believe it was the same river I was seeing. Couldn't believe it. And this river had a stair going down into the water. So I started to follow this stair, and the area, when I started to go down inside of the river now, the area there was a kind of greenish color, right? The area was a kind of greenish color. And I started to walk further down into this thing, and I started to see clean water. Mind you, the river there, the water in that river there is brown. The water in that river is brown.
Oh wow.
But, but when I started to walk down in this river, when I started to walk down into it, the water was brown, and there was a door and an opening. But the door and the opening is on the flat side of the ground.
You mean like a portal?
Yes, but a water portal.
Wow.
Right? And they were writing kind of like circular kind of hieroglyphs with strokes and thing in it. And never see that anywhere. I look for it. I look for the signal. I look for all the hieroglyphic signal symbols that I saw there, but I never see anything like that. Right? I didn't see it. And when I was about to advance to go forward, I heard something say, "Don't go further. Don't go further."
Oh, really? They told you not
Yeah,
to go further?
yeah. They said, "Don't go further. Don't go further." And then I came back to my body, and I was amazed. There's a opening to the Marine Kingdom right there.
Hey, well, I'm glad you just touched that right there. That you made that comment because B has a question. She says, "So what happens if you give in to the spirits?"
They take you over, or they could kill you.
Oh man! Wow.
It's serious. It's serious. Watch me. When you're dealing with African voodoo,
Mm-hmm.
it's life or death, you know. When you're dealing with these things, most people don't like to believe it because most people think they're more physical, but they're not only physical people, they're spiritual too. And when you get to go into the depth of what these things are and how they're made up and what their intentions and stuff are, people run away, they will stay away from them. You wouldn't even think one positive thing about these things. These was a time I was on my bed. Now I'm a man, I pray. I used to pray and think plenty. And I get up early in the morning just to pray and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, I started to see this castle-like structure. And I thinking like, whoa, that is so beautiful. And I'm thinking that I see in heaven when the Spirit of God tell me that is not my kingdom, that is the Marine Kingdom. And I see three beautiful women.
Mm-hmm.
The beauty cannot be compared to no human beauty. I was like, wow. I was amazed to see how beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Beautiful, 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 beautiful. And they were looking, they were just watching. These things literally, these creatures literally have mirrors that they could look into and watch people.
What?
Yes,
Wow.
they can monitor you. It is scary.
Wow. Man,
It
that's
is
crazy, dude.
it is they can monitor you. They can monitor you.
Right. Wow.
Right? They could monitor you. People don't know the seriousness. People don't know the seriousness behind these things.
Mm-hmm.
The Orisha know it. People who deal up with the Marine Kingdom, they know it. Some people get riches and fortune. Some people get blessings to sing and stuff like that. Blessings for beauty, cars, cosmetics, all these things, all the technologies. There are cars. There are cars in the Marine Kingdom that waiting to come to Earth for the future. You know, futuristic things. There. Watch me. When people get when you see what happens in this earth, what happens in this earth has already happened on their side. It's just fit to manifest, right? It's just fit to manifest. So they already have plans. They already have plans for what is going to happen. So they just set plans and they just wait for it to happen, right? They set things. Okay. So they plan X, Y, and Z. X, Y, and Z has to happen, and they're going to wait for it. Whoever who probably the agent whoever worship them or whatever to go and implement it, right? These these things have people who are in high authority, secret agencies. When you have when you go down in even in the earth in the earth system, even the earth system, when let's say what we call middle earth, they have advanced technologies there that we don't know about. And guess what? It's somewhere up in the Arctic, and guess what? The traveling system is underwater, through caves, through whatever system. Why have it underground, underwater? Then you have cave systems leading up into the earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because these things, whatsoever they're making, people who say, okay, you worship a God, He's going to bless you, right? You worship a God, He's going to bless you. He's going to give you favor. All right. So these human beings who know and who are involved in these kingdoms worship these. I'll remember putting in inverted comma gods for blessings. So when you see all these new technologies come out and stuff like that, all these new technologies and stuff, just think about it. Alien tech, reverse engineering, right? A man, a man of his own, probably a level of intellect never really come up with such things unless it was taught to him or given to him by something higher than him. Understand what I'm saying? Eh? Understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man has the power to think, right? Man has the power to think. But let me put it this way for you. For a man to think, to focus on something, to move it, to literally, a plate is in front of me, to move this plate from left to right, it has to have a higher power that driving that man to literally move that plate. Right?
Okay, Richard, that's where the frequency comes in, right? That's what we were talking about
Let me
last time
get
on our
there
very
now
first interview. Okay,
because
okay,
I touch it, I just touch
yeah.
it around it.
Yeah.
Let's move into frequency, man.
On the
Let's move into
frequency.
frequency.
So
Yeah, that's awesome.
we touching around
Hmm.
it, right? That's why I
Hmm.
just touching around it, right? So you no, mind you, right?
Now, mind you, that's Marvin's trademark, man.
Marvin, like you're rubbing off on the boy.
Marvin, don't tell us. Hey, man, y'all can't be using that. That's mine.
That's Marvin's
Yeah, you're rubbing off.
trademark.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. You're rubbing off on me. That good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Marvin's trademark,
Love you,
baby.
Marv.
Yeah, babe.
Love you, Marvin.
Love you, Marv.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, sorry to
So
interrupt.
like I was saying before, like all the cars and the technology, all these things come from so these kingdoms and stuff like that, right? So when you check it, man, getting the ideas from there and bringing it here, right? They're getting the ideas from there and bringing it here, right? Good. But we only seen it manifesting because you see them say, okay, we thought this up and ting, but that was already drafted for them by a higher power than a higher intellect. But think of it this way: you do what I say, you get your blessings. I'm able to transfer my thoughts to you so that you can innovate.
Wow.
So you tap into my frequency, you see my thoughts,
Right.
you see my thoughts, you put it to pen and paper, and you're a genius.
That's what we were talking about last time. Remember about dogmen? That
Mm-hmm.
in order for them to scare you, they have to go on your frequency. Remember? And they
Okay, so
feed off of that. They feed
that
off of that frequency.
they feed off your frequency. Okay, so let's go again. Frequency is the movement of waves from one point to another point at a particular time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boom. The frequency that they give off. Now, they could give off a frequency of fear and excitement and stuff like that, or they could just shut down the frequency and you feel nothing. You don't get no evil vibes or nothing from them. They just shut off they could play with that. That is in their ability. Let me put it this way for you. A teacher comes into our classroom. The teacher is all excited and the children go get excited to work because the vibes that the teacher is giving off, this frequency that the teacher is giving off, the movement of that energy, those waves from that teacher is a positive one.
Mm-hmm.
So when that positive energy hit the children, it begins to change their frequency also, and they respond in kind to that frequency.
Hey, Richard, let me ask you this, man, because I remember a dude from Texas was me and him and I think Tom were talking about this before. That like what you're talking about frequency, right? And you know the like the dogman scare people to feed off of that frequency. Do you remember that movie? What was it called, Tom? With the kids, where they scare them. You remember that?
Mon-
Monsters Inc.
Monsters Inc. Yeah,
Monsters Inc.
yeah.
Now, I mean, is
Right.
that we're thinking? We were thinking like maybe they're onto something about that. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like there is some truth to that. You know what I mean?
these um these people who in the movie industry and these kind of things, they know a lot of stuff that we think uh, do exist.
Hmm.
They know a lot of stuff. They know a lot of technology. The first cell phone ever was on Star Trek with Cook, Captain Cook.
Hmm.
You understand? The first
Yeah,
cell phone.
yeah.
That was how many years before the cell phone came out?
Right, 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 right. Yeah.
They know why. Because they privy to the information. Because some of them are these people are in league with
Hey,
these cryptids, right?
and you know who also like like on James Bond with that watch that he used to talk and see people
Right,
and shit
right,
back
right.
in the 60s, dude, when phones weren't even or smartwatches weren't even thought about, you know what I mean? And then another one too, I remember a show when I was a
Like,
kid, it was called Knight Rider. Shout out
right.
to Dave,
Yes, kid.
shout out to
Yeah.
David from Texas Knight Rider. Uh that program right there, the guy used to always talk to his watch too, right,
Watch.
Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to
Talk to
talk
his
to him.
watch, called his car. Say, hey, kid, come
Yeah,
get me.
yeah, he used to give him commands and everything.
They
And
always
that was
have
back in the
80,
what was that, Tom? Like in the 70s, 80s, early.
84,
in the 80s.
84, 83,
Yeah.
85.
And we didn't
Mm-hmm.
know nothing about no smartwatches or nothing about cell phones. The first cell phone came out in 1990. It was that big white brick phone,
Yes.
Motorola. That was the very
Yes.
first one. Well, for the public, rich people had them in their cars before
Yeah.
that,
That's right.
but for the public sale, yeah. So,
Right. So if I could project my mind to you,
mhm.
you would hear and think everything I say. All my ideas will be projected to you. And look how strange it is, eh? And look how it's connected, eh? Mermaids have that same ability. Dogmen have that same
Right.
ability. Or the cryptids have that same
So,
ability.
in order for them to communicate with you telepathically, because that's the way they say that they communicate with you,
Right?
they have to be on your same frequency, right?
Yes, they would bring themselves, or they will project. Let me use this word. They will project their thoughts towards you. So they project their
Hmm.
frequency
Hmm.
towards you, right?
Hmm.
And once they project that towards you, you will
Right.
hear them.
And I remember
Once they
you mentioning that once they tapped into your frequency, that's it. You're pretty much, under their control, right?
That's right.
Remember you
Because
said that.
they could suggest to you, and the frightening thing about it, they are deceivers. They will make you believe that they're friendly. They show attributes of
Hmm.
friendliness. But trust me, a war is coming in. Believe you me. Because when you talk about, and you hear these Ubia men talking and stuff like that, it ain't no good thing about these cryptids.
Hey, Richard, I got a
Mm-hmm.
question from B. I don't know if it's related to the frequency or not, but you tell us. It says, "Are ancestor spirits demonic?" Is that? I mean,
Mm-hmm. All right. So let's go to the ancestors. Right? Let's go to the
mhm.
ancestors.
You're right
Now
back,
the
guys. Bathroom
Okay.
break.
yeah
All right, Tommy.
the a lot of a lot of the African culture, the Risha also believe in the
Hmm.
ancestors, right? Believe in the ancestors and stuff like that. But the scary part about it, once the ancestors dead, they go on. So the only thing that remain is familiar spirits that you're dealing with, and they're very demonic in nature,
Hmm.
right? They're very demonic. So when you're dealing with when they start to talk about ancestors, right?
Hmm.
it's not real ancestors you're dealing with. That's another deception. It's demonic entities you're dealing with.
Really?
So I'd advise anybody, once you're hearing me, from the time you started dealing with ancestors, please stay away from that, because that is demonic.
Wow.
You don't want to get tied up with that at all, because it's familiar spirits you're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
And these familiar spirits, you have a lot of them operating with Marines.
Mm-hmm.
That's why some of them, sometimes some people contacting the ancestors, they leave the body. Sometimes they see themselves flying over water, then they shoot up into the heavenlies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? You see them, they get that experience of flying over water and then shooting up. Right?
Right.
So you have to be real careful. You have to be real careful. Please, people, be careful. You might not take what I'm saying seriously. You might have a total belief system, but trust me, believe me. And you know what? B? You know what, B? I will challenge anybody who do these kind of things. I would challenge you. I challenge you down to the T. This is my challenge out to you. If you involve in that kind of thing, this is my challenge to you. This is my challenge. If you're talking to one of these spirit beings, question them and ask them about Jesus Christ. That is my challenge to you. If you are talking to these spirits, I want it. That is my challenge. Question them on Jesus Christ, because believe me, people talk to ancestral spirits. The Ubia men down here, they just talk to them, right? But it's not human spirits they're talking to, or the ancestors that you think that they're talking to.
Wow.
Is demonic beings. Because from the time you start to talk to them about Jesus Christ, is ruction in the place. Is real. Trust me, they're going to get very violent and angry.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to get very violent and angry. And this is one of the things that I was. This is why when we talk about frequency, why when people pray or call on the name of Jesus Christ, these things stop. And it is noted and it is documented that from the time people pray and they call on the name of Jesus Christ, these events stop. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because the name of Jesus carries a different frequency. And that frequency forces out every negative and demonic frequency. Why do they stop? If they were good, if they were nice, if they were pleasant, if they weren't evil, right? If you call on the name of Jesus, it would never been a problem.
Right.
It would have never been a problem. But all of a sudden, as you call on the name of Jesus Christ, or you begin to pray to God, it stopped.
Right. Because it's demonic.
That's
and it
right.
doesn't. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
So let me paint a picture for you. You have a bottle that has air in it. That air carries a particular frequency, right? A wave pattern, and it occupies that bottle. Take a more powerful frequency. You take water and you pour it inside that bottle. All the air will leave. The frequency of the water will take over the bottle. So therefore, you have no room for air in that bottle, because the frequency of the water is overpowering the air, the frequency of the air that is in the bottle. Okay? So
Right.
you just have water in the bottle, overpower the air that is in the bottle to force the air out. While the water is coming in, the air is going out.
Mm-hmm.
The name of Jesus carries a more powerful frequency because it is good and it has power in that name. When you call the name of Jesus, it comes like water coming into the bottle, forcing the air out, which will be the negative frequency. Positive frequency cannot, a positive frequency and a negative frequency cannot exist together.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, in the same space. Hey, I got a question from Charlie Kylene. She says, can cryptids and spirits be one and the same?
All right, let me put it to you this way. Cryptids are flesh and blood.
Mm-hmm.
Spirits are spirits, intangible, but they're real. Just that they're on another plane. You can't see them, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, cryptids could communicate with these things.
With spirits.
Yes,
Wow.
they can. They can.
Okay.
You know why?
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you. When these cryptids die, they go to that plane and they become the spirits that we know,
Mm-hmm.
right? As wicked spirits or evil spirits. When they die, they communicate with their own. And sometimes human beings communicate with them.
Oh.
That is why some people, when they go into the supernatural realm, they see different types of creatures. Some of them see dog-like spirits. Some people see fish-like spirits. Some people see other kind of spirits or hideous spirits. Some people see human-like spirits. Right? When Nephilim die, the spirits roam the earth. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they are neither accepted into heaven. Right?
Right.
They're not accepted into heaven. So what they do? They roam the earth. Seeing that,
Wow.
so even in the book of Joshua says that when God was pronouncing the judgment upon them, upon the angels, he said, your children,
Mm-hmm.
they were not born naturally. They were not born from human being and human being. They were born from the spirits, from eternal spirits
Mm-hmm.
and spirits of women or spirits of men. So therefore, when they die, they would not enter into heaven, but they would roam the earth and they would be a torment to human beings because they came from them. Right? So they can communicate with, yes, they do communicate, but they are flesh and blood, and then when they die, they become evil spirits.
Hey, so Al wants to know, so then they never die? He's asking that question.
Right.
So then they never die.
The flesh body dies. Now man is an eternal being, right? Man
Right.
is an
So the
eternal
spirit
being.
keeps
The
on
spirit lives on.
lives on.
That's right, that's
Okay.
correct. So
Okay.
same
Okay.
same thing with them. Same thing with them. Same thing with them. Same thing with them. But we go to one place, they remain on earth. They remain on earth probably until judgment. They remain on earth.
Hey, you know what? I do believe in like reincarnation. So does that have to
Mhm.
do with reincarnation? Whenever the
No,
body dies, it jumps to another body, maybe
oh,
newborn body, maybe.
mm, mm,
No,
mm, um,
because I've heard
um,
I've heard like a spirit has like I don't know how many lives,
no,
like
it's spirits are eternal.
lives like a
No,
body.
no, no.
Like I've heard 3, but there's people that heard like up to 7 or 9 or something like that.
Oh no,
You know what I mean?
spirits are. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know. I hear you. I trust me. I hear you.
yeah.
Spirits are eternal. They're eternal. They're eternal. They live on. You live on. That's That's just it. You live on. Eternity. Right now, the human mind cannot grasp eternity. Nobody could grasp eternity,
Mm-hmm.
right? But you were made eternal. Um, so let me how can I put this? It, that come like it's in like lives are recycled, right? Each person is their own individual, right? Each person is their own individual. I mean, if you were made in the image, if you're made in the image and in the likeness of God, it will mean to me that God made me eternal. And seeing that God is also eternal and has been always the way he was and was never another person, human beings will be the same thing too.
Mm-hmm.
We will be who we are when we die, right? We will be who we are when we die. Uh, but they say to come back another person means that you're taking over another person's identity,
Mm-hmm.
who God would have created in their own identity, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it means that uh, God made you, and then you die, and then uh, you take over another form, another person body, where somebody else was supposed to be in that body, who God had created,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it would it would be kind of conflicting there. It would be kind of conflicting there to say that if we are this personality, then to be another personality in the same body, but you are unique, right? It would be kind of conflicting there. So what I'm saying is God made each person as an individual. When you die, you are eternal. You remain that person as an individual, and then you move on to eternity,
Mm-hmm.
right? For somebody else to come, to the earth, all right? For somebody else to come to the earth. It come like everything must have a balance.
Mm-hmm.
Everything must have a balance. If it was, if it was you all the time, it would mean that you. What about the other persons to come? So it mean that you would be me, and I would be you, and you would be me, and I'd be you, and other people too. Because if you're talking about reincarnation, right? That person will think that they have a mind of his own, right? But you are claiming to be in that person. You are claiming to be that person before,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other person that was there before would have been claiming to be that person before, and so on and so on and so on and so on and so on. If you understand what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, right? So each person is their own individual, not somebody else. Each person is their own individual,
Mm-hmm.
right? Not somebody else, or um, not some past experience,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you grasp what I'm saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is that God made each and every one of us as individuals. When we
Mm-hmm.
die, we would be that person forever. We wouldn't come back as something else. Right? You would be you forever. Right?
Right.
And whosoever is born will be born an individual. Right? They will be born individual and not born and somebody else with a past life or past relationship be or circumstances or situations be in them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because that is what reincarnation really is. Coming back as something or another form, but you in another person. That's basically what it is. You in another person or another lifetime or somewhere down the road. Right? But like again, I say, as I was saying, that is belief system. Right? That is belief system. But as in terms of cryptids, they can operate on that plane. They can operate on a plane that is supernatural, where they could communicate with spirits, because their fathers were spirits, right?
There is Tommy.
So they have.
I'm back.
So they have the gene or the ability to tap into the supernatural realm and do supernatural things. When we say supernatural, we're talking about things that normal human beings cannot do, things that science and physics cannot explain. For example, leaping 20 feet into the air, leaping 20 feet over the road, running so fast that it looks like a blur.
Right.
When spirits run, they look like that.
Hey, I got a question about that, man. I'm glad you touched that topic right now. You know how when people get possessed and they get like this supernatural strength, climbing shit and throwing shit, and you know what I mean? It's like, where do they get that superpower from, bro? I mean, that's crazy.
Right. So
I mean, just by being the demon inside of them. I mean, how does that happen?
Right. Okay. So, for example,
glad you're back, Tommy. Yes, sir, buddy.
My internet got screwed up for some reason, and then it finally came back on.
Yeah.
And as soon as my internet came back on, I got the ring from you, but I don't understand why, because I got the best internet in the world. I got freaking fiber optics, on the ground.
Okay.
And I think it's just a matter of everybody's using it in my house. I don't know, but all the kids are using it. All the kids are doing their thing, and I'm doing what I'm doing here. So it is what it is. Whatever.
You might have a lot of things hooked up to the internet too, like a lot of devices or something too. That could be part of it. Yeah. I like me, when I don't use it on my TV, like my Fire Stick or my internet, I disconnect it because I don't want it, just running the megabytes.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but it's cool, bro. Glad you're back.
Yeah, how do they? Yeah, like you see, like you're saying, like people like they got the power of 10 men, and like 10 people, like 10 people try to hold this person down, and he throws them off like they're the freaking Incredible Hulk.
Where do they get that power from? It's physically impossible.
Let me give you an example that actually
doesn't make sense.
Actually happened with my cousin. Right. She had a demon in her, and when the pastor was praying, it take 9 fellas, 2 6-footers, probably about 200, 210 around there. 5 5-footers, probably let's say around 165, 175, because it's kind of like strong fellas, right? And some women to hold on my cousin, right? She was on the ground, on her belly, with these guys holding her down on top of her, because she was very violent, very, very violent. And when this thing decided it couldn't take no more, she lift up all of them, walk about 3 feet with them, and then went back down on the ground.
Wow.
Lift up all of them, walk 3 feet,
and
went back down on the ground.
How does that physically happen? I mean,
so
100-pound woman or girl get the strength of 3 250-pound men. How does that happen?
Okay, so
I can't put that in my mind. Like, how does that happen?
okay,
It's
so
not physically possible, bro.
no,
I mean, like, her muscles
but
aren't as big
that is
as,
why
you know
that
what I
is
mean?
why that is why the term supernatural,
Mm-hmm.
superhuman comes to his belief system.
Supernatural, yeah. Right,
Supernatural,
right, right, right.
superhuman
Superhuman
abilities.
strength. Yeah. That's why I've heard superhuman strength and
Let me
yeah, superhuman.
let me put it for you this way: if a spirit could move a plate without touching it, just imagine if that spirit is in a body. Just think about that. A spirit could move a plate without touching it. Without physically being there, without you seeing it. Just imagine when that spirit in our body. That is where supernatural, superhuman strength comes from. Let me give you another example. You have a suit, a body suit. That body suit is lying there. It don't really have any power. But from the minute you put on that suit, you could walk with the suit and stuff like that. You could carry the suit around. But it's you powering the suit to move.
Okay, now let me ask you, Bridge. Let me ask you. Do you think it has anything to do with their frequency, the demon's frequency, that they have the power to like lift, this heavy object that person, that 150-pound person can't pick up on her own? I mean, is that how that works, or how does that work, bro?
Okay.
I mean,
let me put it like this.
because that's another thing I was going to ask you too. As far as the pyramids, I've heard that they use sound frequency to pick up a huge rock, and they use the sound frequency like zzz, and they picked it up off the air and put it on the pyramid where it goes. That's what I've heard. That type of technology. Have you ever heard of that, Tom?
So,
sound. They move these rocks the size of cars, and the frequency of the sound
picks it up.
Come high and low, and this guy made a pyramid in his front yard by doing sound harmonics with frequency.
Right.
You guys talking,
exactly.
You guys talking
and that's
my
how
language,
it's thought,
man.
Yeah, that's how it's thought to be for the pyramids in Giza and all that.
You guys
but on a bigger scale,
talking,
like the alien, technology shit, picking them up and put them on.
You guys talking my language, man. Well, they talking my language.
Absolutely.
Okay, so no, this entire earth is about frequency. This entire earth is about frequency.
Wow.
You are hearing me because the frequency of my song, the waves of my voice, right, is going through this system, coming through the internet on a particular frequency. That internet is interpreting that frequency, and you are hearing me as I am.
Matter of fact, when you just said that, you touched your mic and it sounded like that. You know what I mean? That's the frequency. And now I can hear that little humming that Al was talking about earlier. I can actually hear it now.
So
yeah,
picture this.
Okay.
Picture this. This thing is supernatural, right? Yeah. So this thing needs a suit to function the way it wants to function, to feel the way it needs to feel and stuff like that. That is why they possess people.
Right.
Because they want a body.
They want a body. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. They need a body for them to do whatever they want to do. Yeah.
They need a host. They need a host to take over.
That's right.
There you go.
To use their powers inside, because they can't do it alone. They need a host to get inside.
Right.
To make their powers emanate.
That's right. But think of this. On their own, they can move a plate. And you say, oh God, this place haunted, but things moving by itself. Right? That is outside of our body. Just imagine what they could do inside of our body.
Right. Because I've seen that, like, when they're in spirit form, they push stuff over. I've seen videos Matter of fact, we had a video earlier, Tom. I don't know if you got to see it, of about what was it? It was a hospital, a haunted hospital, and they had like 4 cameras on there, and like you could hear like voices, and but I've seen like many videos where like they're in the kitchen and they open doors and they throw dishes down,
Right.
but that's it. That's all they can do is just like move stuff around, but
Right.
they can't really do anything else.
Once they get
Right.
that human host, they got
Then
more power to work with.
They're more
More
powerful.
power.
So like
Yeah.
I'm saying,
Hey, let me ask you guys real quick, Tom. I'm pretty sure you have, Tom. Have y'all ever watched that movie with Denzel Washington where it's a spirit, it's a bad spirit,
It's called
that he
It's
jumps
called
to another
it's
hole?
called Fallen.
Fallen,
Fallen.
yeah.
It jumps from person to
Fallen.
person.
Yes, man.
And
I
he knows
love that movie,
knows
dude.
he knows exactly who the spirit is because every time it jumps from body, it either sings a song or says something
Yeah.
to him, and it gives him that evil look, and he knows who it is.
Evil look. Yeah, he sings that song, That Time Is on My Hand.
That's a good
Yes,
movie.
it is. Yeah, I love that movie, dude. That's a real good movie. But that has a lot to do with what we're talking about. That's why I brought it up.
Right. So you put on that suit. You're able to power that suit. That suit, it seems like the suit have power now because it can. Now let's just breaking that analogy with the suit, right? So the suit wouldn't be able to lift up anything at all, right? It have no power behind it. But from the time you put on that suit you're able to lift up chairs and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just make an analogy. Your body is a suit. Your body is a suit.
Mm-hmm.
Of its own. Your body cannot do superhuman things.
Right.
But if something comes inside of you that could enable your suit,
that's what I was going to ask.
Do superhuman things.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask you. That's what I was going to ask you. Maybe we don't use it. Maybe we don't know how to use it. Maybe we don't know how to channel it. But maybe we have more strength than we think we do. And we just don't know how to use it. And the demon does.
That's right.
He knows how to use all 100% of you. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's true. It could be that, Tom.
That's right.
Yeah. Definitely, man. That's a really good point. Yeah.
So
and the demon knows how to do that.
So hear this. The same frequency that could be used to lift big stones and rocks and whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
That demon could challenge the frequency from them that will give your body the extra power to live or to do supernatural things.
Another thing, you know what, guys? Another thing that does that proves that what Richard just said is adrenaline, bro. When you're in adrenaline, a life or death situation, you get a lot of power in your body. You know, like superhuman power, like lifting up a car by yourself because you see somebody dying underneath it. You know what I mean? That is, and I've seen a lot of stories.
You're not kidding, because I have a story for you real quick.
Yeah.
You know those side by sides, those side by side ATVs that seat like 4 people. And they weigh probably. I mean, I don't even know how much they weigh. They gotta weigh 600-700 pounds easily, right? Well, my brother let me take his out this is probably 10 years back, and I took it out riding it. I was riding it like a damn daredevil, jumping hills with it, doing donuts with it, doing burnouts, and somehow I flipped this thing over. Somehow I flipped it over, and I had a girl in the passenger seat next to me. That some girl I was dating at the time, and she was buckled in. Luckily nobody fell out, but we had to unbuckle each other, to get out of there. And I kid you not, I was so tensed up and my adrenaline was to the roof. And I shit you not, I flipped that thing back over on 4 wheels, and I drove that son of a bitch back home to my brother. I don't know how I did it, but I flipped it back over on 4 wheels because it was upside down completely, completely tumbled over on the roof, on the back of it. And I flipped that son of a bitch over on 4 wheels and drove that sucker home.
Yeah. Adrenaline gives you that extra power, bro, to do stuff like that.
All right.
And like me, that happened to me one time. I was being chased by a dog. Damn dog never caught me, bro. That adrenaline. That was adrenaline, man. I just, well, I was flying out there like Flash.
Absolutely.
You see, if and what I said before, this entire earth is run by frequency, right?
Mhm.
Anything that happens to the body is a particular frequency that is given off,
Mhm.
right? A particular frequency is given off. Once that frequency is given off, or a particular frequency is given off, it enables the body to do certain things.
Yeah.
Right? For example, if a germ enters into the body, right? If a germ enters into the body, there are certain chemicals that get released and stimulated, right? And then afterwards, you'll have white blood cells and stuff flowing to fight off the germs, right? Because what that does, when the germs enter into the body, it brings a different frequency to the body, telling the body that, hey, what's going on? I need to produce this to balance the frequency that comes in that wants to change it. Because a person with a healthy body has a particular frequency they give off. A person with a sick body has a particular frequency they give off. Yes, they do.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, just you can tell when somebody's sick just from looking at them. They just look sick.
Just like the same thing when you go into a room, you know when two people are arguing or not. You know when the room tense because of
Dude, when you walk
given
in a hospital and you see a lot of people sick, you can feel that vibe, that sick
is a
frequency.
Yeah. It is frequency.
Yeah.
It is frequency.
Absolutely.
This entire it's people. You see, if you can understand now, that is why they say healing music, calming music, soothing oils, healing oils. Oils give off certain oils give off a particular frequency that the body needs to heal itself.
Even smells, Richard, like things like little perfumes and stuff that you smell them. They put you in this like really
essential oils, man. You put some essential oils up and relax you and stuff, and man, you're just chill.
Exactly, bro. Yeah.
So when you get into the paranormal and cryptids and stuff like that, you can better understand frequency. You can better understand why a dog man would want to frighten the living daylight out of you. Why they go all out to frighten you. Because of that frequency. If certain frequency could heal our body, if certain frequency could make us feel happy and give us energy, certain frequencies will either give the dog man energy to go and do what they need to do, or probably change some kind of chemical reaction in their body to make them hunt better. I don't know. But whatsoever they do it to frighten the living daylight out of you. And whensoever they frighten the living daylight out of you, they go on.
Yeah.
Get here.
Dude,
come back.
Is that like them recharging their battery, getting their rocks
off
frightening you?
Yeah. Look how they operate. They come, they sneak up on you, they come, they tap your glass and stuff like that.
And when you see them, they already saw you.
That's right.
So when you turn around and see them, they're already looking at you. They already know you're there.
Right.
Because they have extraordinary senses also. They can smell you, they can hear you better, you know what I'm saying? Like dogs that we can't. So that's why they say when you see them, it's too late, because they've already already studied you. They know what they're gonna do with you.
So let me put it to you guys this way. Like I said before, when the teacher comes into the classroom and she hypes up all the children because of the frequency she gives off. Nature has a particular frequency, right? Nature has a particular frequency that birds and squirrels and insects understand, because they give off that vibes to each other, and you hear them singing and chirping and stuff like that. playfully in the jungle. When a dog man come in, all of that stuff, the whole forest going quiet. Because something disturbs the frequency that they know. Something is a threat to the environment.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So the frequency that they had before was disturbed, therefore they know here what's going on. Keep quiet. Something with a negative frequencies here. That is why some people tell you they get a vibes even before they see the dog man. They get that eerie feeling.
Right.
Because that frequency charging the atmosphere around them.
Mm-hmm. Hey, another thing, Richard, do you think that silence that everybody says they hear the silence when there's a dog man near them, that they hear like the whole forest go quiet? Which I don't think it's the whole forest that goes quiet. I think it's in your head. I think it's in your ears. I think is the dog man channeling you, you know what I'm saying, through the frequency that makes you deaf to the sound around you.
It could.
That's what I think.
It could be that too, and we're not ruling out that possibility. We're not ruling out that possibility. That could be a possibility. It could be that frequency overpowering your frequency for that thing trying to channel you.
Exactly, and it's deafening your hearing towards the you know, the nature, the crickets and the animals and all that. I think that's what it is, because I don't know if you guys ever had that experience, Tom, but like when you get like really overwhelmed or really excited or really sad about something, your ear, you can't hear something. It's like everything goes deaf for like, you know, a couple seconds. Have you ever had that, Tom? Or have you ever had that, Richard?
I've had that feeling. Yeah.
That you can't hear nothing. You're deaf. Why? Because it's your
perception.
Your perception and your frequency that is kind of like overloading. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it makes you deaf for a couple of seconds.
That could be a possibility. But you still can rule out. You still can rule out that the animals are aware of their frequency and go quiet because of it. You still can rule that out, right?
Right.
Right. So we have to watch both of them as possibilities.
Right. Yeah.
Right. We have to watch both of them as possibilities. But yes, that could be a possibility too. Right. But yes, it could be that the dog man channeling you.
Right.
Causing your perception of the environment to shut down so that they can talk to you. Right.
Exactly.
Right?
Communicate.
And then again, and then again, it could very well be that the animal shut down because they were going on danger around. The same thing that happened with a bobcat around here. The forest go quiet. The area there go quiet, right? Or if a large predator around, the area will go quiet. It's not that now this animal projecting.
You know what, Richard? Al just mentioned, he just touched on it too. He said, mind focusing on one thing, you hear nothing else. That is true.
That is right.
I think when they stop hearing the noises in the forest, it's not really that the crickets just stopped or anything like that. I think it's more in their mind, and maybe it's their sixth sense, letting them know that they're in danger. You know what I mean? And therefore it cancels all the noise around you, because it's your sixth sense letting you know you're in danger when the dog man is around. You know what I'm saying? That's another possibility.
Yeah, that's a possibility, and that's what we say. We're not ruling it out.
Right.
We cannot rule it out because it could be a possibility. It could be a possibility, as well as the frequency in the forest getting disturbed by the frequency of the dog man. Because believe you me, if you feeling that frequency coming from the dog man, they feeling it too. Because nature is in harmony.
B was saying that she feels like everything does go silent. That's her take on that. And Al's asking Tom what he thinks about that.
About the silence?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the frequency. Like, let's say you're in the woods hunting, you're a wolf, a bear, cougar, mountain lion, tiger, anything that's a predator animal. They have that predator frequency. It's just kind of built into their spirit, their aspect. So when that predator frequency comes into the woods or comes into an area, where there's birds chirping, crickets,
Yeah.
everything that's around it is going to quiet down because they know a predator's coming,
That
and they don't want to get eaten. They don't
okay.
want to get attacked.
Right.
They know to be safe. They know to hide, lay low,
Yeah.
get away from that predator. So everything, all silence is going to be quiet because they feel that frequency.
They feel that frequency.
coming.
Okay, that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what B
Right.
was saying. That
So,
she goes
yeah.
with that.
So we're right.
Yeah.
So, but B just remember, we still cannot rule out. What Charlie said. We're not going to rule it out. It could be a possibility, but nature will tell you that if a predator are wrong, anything in that area will go quiet.
Mhm.
Right? Even the scientists will tell you that, and they have done studies and tests on that. Right? So
Hey,
that,
B is saying that the same thing happens when demons are present,
oh yeah,
just like with the dogma.
Right. So let me show you all something. You ever see an animal all of a sudden just stop and just start to look, and then they start to hiss for no reason at all? Or your cat just start behaving
Oh,
strange?
Yeah. Dogs looking at the wall, barking at nothing.
That's right.
Dogs and cats see spirits,
Yeah,
and they
see them.
see entities
That-
that we can't.
That is so true. That
I
is
saw a
so
dog
true.
running one time, barking all the way back to another room in the back. I was in the restroom, man, and like, what the? I got up, ran back there. I said, "Who just came in, man?" Because he came, boy, running. He went back to the back room. I went back there. There was nobody there. It was just kind of like abandoned, just a bunch of furniture in there, whatever. And I went in there, and there was nobody there, dude. And the dog was just like, "Rrr." I'm like, what the hell? So that had to be a ghost or a spirit or something, man.
Yeah.
It gave me the goosebumps, and I just took off. I was like, fuck this, I'm not staying here.
I had cats in the house when I lived in a haunted house in New Jersey before I moved down here. I had
Right.
cats. I had 3 Siamese cats, or I had 1 Siamese cat and then 2 other cats, and we were in the hallway. Every time you walked down this hallway, you felt the hair in your back of your
Ooh.
neck stood up.
Right.
You got chills.
Yeah.
And one time, this cat, the Siamese cat, it skittered down the carpet, and the carpet rolled up like an accordion from one end to the other end. It just rolled up on its own after the cat bugged out. And I'm like, we knew there was something going on. We knew there, but the cat must have saw something, and it got the hell out of there. I mean,
yeah, but so
it got the hell out of Dodge.
Hell yeah, that shit creeps you out, man. Makes your hair stand up.
I got stories
Creeps you
about
out.
that house, but we'll talk about that another time because
On another,
we got to get this show
Yeah,
wrapped
we
up
do.
anyway. We've got about 2 hours now, so
yeah, I know.
I think we should.
so long.
I think
Yeah,
we
and
should.
hey, guys, I do wanna say thank you to Al, B, Charlie that came back, and dude from Texas. Thank you very much for sticking around and staying till the end, because I did see a lot of people bail, but that's okay. I ain't worried about it.
No.
We're gonna have many more shows in this, so I'm not even worried about it. That's what B was saying. Well, maybe we should promote it more. I'm not worried about it. Whoever wants to come, comes. We promote it. We put it 3 days in advance. We don't change the hour. We don't show up late. So it's not on us. You know what I mean? It's their loss if they don't show up. We let the whole group know. B lets her group know. We let Marvin's group know. We let all our friends know. So
Yeah.
whoever don't show up, that's on them.
Right.
I ain't worried about it.
And
I love
guys,
doing this anyway.
It's for the love of it.
Absolutely.
It's for the love of it. It's for the love of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, you would like people to.
It could
to
be just us
aware.
3, no viewers, and
Yeah.
I'd be the same. I'd be the same happy as I am right now.
Absolutely.
It's about the love. Is about love for what you're doing, and to educating people on what really and truly is out there. And how to overcome these things. Now, for people who going through traumatic situation with these things, like I'm telling you, I'm throwing out a challenge here. Call on the name of Jesus and see what happens. You understand? Pray and see what happens.
They go bye-bye.
they
They're
go
out.
bye because it's a different frequency, a more powerful frequency that you're calling on that will force them out. So if you don't, if you understand frequency and you begin to appreciate frequency, you see a lot of changes in your lifestyle also. You begin to eat different because you know certain fruits give off a certain frequency. You might do certain things different because, or you might listen to a certain music because you know certain music
said
give off.
food give
Yes,
different frequency.
food gives
Man,
off.
what?
Yes,
Come on, man.
yes, yes,
Really?
yes, yes,
Man,
yes, 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 yes.
now I'm worried that I might be eating the wrong foods, Tommy.
Gotta eat clean, baby.
Yeah,
Gotta eat
yeah,
healthy.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta eat that good stuff,
Just,
man.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Need some of that
I try to eat the
Terminator.
health.
You need some of that
Yeah,
Terminator food, baby.
I need that. I need that swole Terminator mix. You gotta go there. No, but I try to eat as healthy as I can, bro.
Yeah,
Honestly, I do.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But you know,
But I
Yeah.
appreciate everybody coming out because most of our views are come from 2 days, 3 days from now. We're gonna have a lot more viewers on this show tonight's show, even though we didn't have many tonight, and it's all cool
Yeah.
because I just like you said, as long as us three are talking about things that we love and getting it out there and putting knowledge out. I mean, that's all I really care about. We could have 3 viewers, we could have 4 viewers, we could have 0 viewers. It don't
Man,
matter.
this is fun.
I'm not about that. We're not about that. Trying to get. We're humble. We just like talking about what we love to talk about and just put it out there. And if people want to hear it, then that's awesome. And if you don't, that's awesome too. But
And you know
what
what?
we do. We do what we love.
And you know what? Whether
absolutely.
people agree or disagree, we okay with that.
Yeah.
We are okay with that. And you would think that people who would be interested in the cryptids, would really support and try to get deep in it. And if you want to get information or you want to get knowledge, you ask questions and stuff like that. But again, it's for the love of it. It's for the education of people, right? And we know for sure that people have been traumatized by these things.
Yes.
And if you could get someone to give you a solution to a problem and changing the frequency around you to get better results or to overcome,
that is true.
To overcome a situation,
that is
then
true.
by all
I would love to learn that too, because what you do and what you eat and the way you carry yourself in your life and your exercise and your habits, that all has to do with frequency. And if you tune that frequency just right, then things will start happening better for you.
That's
what I mean.
Right. Yeah. That's right. Because let me just train on a little nugget. Because they say it's better to eat fresh fruits, right?
Right.
Better eat fresh fruits over a period of time. Over a period of time, the frequency will die. It goes down.
Wow.
Does all frequency die?
It's not all. For me, if the source is continuous, you'll have continuous frequency.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
You have a continuous you have frequency continually being generated at a particular hertz. Right.
You know why I asked too? Because you know how the old clocks used to have a pendulum. Okay, well, you know how that's supposed to be like forever, right? Because this way, pushes it this way, and this back way pushes it this way, and it's never going to stop. But I have heard of clocks stopping, the pendulum stopping.
Yes.
So I think frequencies do die.
But if, like I say, all frequencies, and I tell you, no, not all. God pushes a particular frequency. God is eternal. So his frequency could never die.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay.
And
Yeah.
and if
hey, we got to do a part 3, Tom. Man,
God's frequency part 3.
Yeah, bro, we got to do a part 3.
So let me just train.
Because we can just go on and on and on, guys.
Let me just train this little nugget. So they say you eat fresh fruits, right? Eat fresh fruits because it's better for you.
Yeah, go ahead and finish us off with some good advice, Richard.
So from the time you pick the fruit, the freshness goes, right? The frequency that goes with the fruit that is supposed to energize you dies too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you want to benefit from the fruit, you got to get it when the frequency pushing high.
Okay.
That's why they people tell you to eat fresh fruit, but they don't understand. They don't understand. Hey, puppy. But they don't understand. They don't understand what they're saying. Really, what they're saying when they tell you eat fresh fruit, because the fresh fruit has a higher frequency than a fruit that has been picked days ago.
Oh.
So the frequency that you put into your body from the fresh fruit that you get is the one that will be healthier for the body.
So that's why they say try to get the freshest fruit, the freshest meat, the freshest veggies, all that, right?
That's right. That's right.
It does have a different taste than a dull.
Because behind
right.
So behind the logic of the fruit being fresh and stuff is the frequency behind it.
Right. It's got a high frequency. It's fresh.
Makes a lot.
That's right.
Okay.
A lot of sense.
Yeah,
it does.
It does. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I think that about wraps it up for tonight. You want to end any comments, Tom?
I mean, I think we had a really good show tonight. And if anyone hasn't heard that Richard has a YouTube channel, he does graphic design. If you want to mention it real fast before we cut out, but I just want to thank everybody for coming out tonight and everyone that listens later. This is a really good show. It really goes deep. If you're not ready for this kind of stuff, don't take it to heart, but you really got to know a lot of how things work and how things are all connected to really get into what Richard's saying, because he knows a lot and he's very knowledgeable in this field. So, don't be offended. Don't be like worried about it. But what he's saying is the truth, and it's real. So, yeah. Oh, go ahead, Richard.
All right. So okay. My YouTube channel is Easy Designs. EEZYDESIGNZ.
One more.
What I do?
Time slower, Richard. One more time slower, man.
EEZYDESIGNZ.
Okay.
Easy Designs. And what I do, I build houses, 3D houses, and the plans are plans that you could use literally to build a house, right? The interior designs, you could literally take those designs and use it probably to design your house. You could probably look at one of the designs and say, okay, I like this, I could try this out. But the beauty about it, all the interior decor could be bought on Amazon. So you could watch the chandelier, you could probably watch a table set and stuff like that, and you can literally go and search for that on Amazon and get it and make your home exactly how I design it in the 3D
Hey,
software.
Richard, I got a question, man. Like if somebody in the group or something, and they check out your YouTube channel and they subscribe and all that, and they ask you, hey, can you make me and my husband, we've been looking for ideas for a new house, can you make me one of those designs that you make, 3D designs, and then the 5D pictures of the designs? Because I've seen the 5D looks a lot more realer than the actual 3D
video
that
I'll do.
Video that you do around the house.
Course. You remember the house that I made for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that for you. So yeah, you could do that.
You could do that for somebody.
Yeah.
Nice.
Of course. Just when you go on my channel, just check out house Mr. Carlito's house. You're gonna see the design. I also do the background and stuff. You'll see hills and mountains and the seas and
it's awesome.
Check it out. Check
Man,
it out. Check it out. Check it out.
Okay.
Check it
I
out.
love that one you did for me, and the Dogman one, man. That shit was crazy.
Man.
That was amazing.
Yeah, it was. It was crazy. The creepy part, Tom, was when he was inside the house, like, going inside the house, and you look out the window and you see the Dogman in the bush. Like that.
Right.
It was real as shit, dude. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, man.
I like that color, Tom.
Yeah, that's a meme color.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like that
man.
purple one, man.
But yeah, well, I had a good time tonight. We definitely have to do a
Yeah,
part three in a couple weeks.
yeah, we gotta do part 3, man. We
Yeah,
definitely gotta
we're
have
gonna
him
have to
back.
put some notes out there and what we really want to focus on. But I'm down with a part three. If you're down, Richard,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
appreciate you coming on tonight, brother. So
Yeah,
you know,
that
yeah,
is not a problem.
yeah,
You
man.
guys,
good
you
night,
guys have been,
everybody.
I know we're gonna get a
you
lot
guys,
more views whenever people come
Yeah,
and check it out. So I ain't worried about
yeah,
it. We're
me
good.
and
neither.
let me just say this quick before I
Huh?
go. You guys have been like
Your
family to
brother,
Thank you.
me. I really
your
do
blood, man.
Yeah,
love and
Love you,
appreciate
brother.
you guys. And for everyone who is out there that is looking at this right now and who will view this in the future, trust
hmm
me, these guys share the love. They do share the love. They love what they're doing, and if they say they're gonna do X, they will do
yes,
X. And if they say that, hey, what's going on, we're not gonna give you a 649. If we don't know, we don't know.
right.
Right? These guys are straight up. They would not lie to you. They would
Oh
not
no,
bring anyone here who is questionable.
yeah,
They give you as
right.
is. So guys, really support them. Really, bless them up and thing. Follow, share, invite friends and families to look on, because you
Mhm.
never know. You might hear something that might turn your life
Yeah,
around.
yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely, man.
All right.
That's
So
what we
shout
hope
out to you
for.
guys. B, Alan, Chris, Al, Nookie. Guys, I love you guys. Much, much, much blessings. And for those who didn't shout out, those who I couldn't remember, do be upset.
Yeah,
Right? All the love coming from Trinidad and
yeah,
Tobago.
exactly.
Absolutely.
And we're okay, guys. Well, this wraps it up for us, and we will be talking about every topic like UFOs. I mean, don't be discouraged if you just see Dogman and paranormal right now. We will talk about UFOs. We will talk about everything else that we have on the page on the group. So everything we're gonna
We're
do a little bit
coming.
of everything in the future. So
We're
keep
coming
coming, yeah,
around to it. Yeah, we're coming
we're
around.
coming.
We're
Yeah,
making
just
our
be
rounds.
patient.
We're coming for you.
Yeah, just be
Forget
patient.
about
We do it we do it every week. So once a week. So be
All right.
patient. All right,
Good
guys. I
night.
think that wraps it up. Thank you,
Love
guys. Love you,
y'all.
Good
guys.
night.
My bros, man. Thank
Love
you, man.
y'all.
We'll see y'all next time, man.
Next
Yeah,
week.
All right,
yeah. All the
guys.
best, all the best, all the
All right.
best.
Good night, guys.
Good
Good night.
night.